Crawford, first and foremost, we've all witnessed VAR. What's your biggest enemy as far as it coming in the short term?
Enemy, I'm not sure. Enemy doesn't really jump out at me as a word that I'm looking positively at VAR in terms of the opportunities that it gives us. Things that are keeping me awake at night, in terms of we've tested the technology. We've done 20 odd matches, we've done that, but when you're involving technology in anything, so we've got backups and we've got systems in place, so that's, technology is a friend, but if it doesn't work, it becomes the enemy. From a people perspective, any technology that you're bringing in that involves people, you're then involving opinions of people, you're involving human beings, and for all the training that we've done and all the standardisation and trying to get a common line in the sand, if you want, of intervention, you're always going to have people opinions in terms of that. So I think we are being as proactive as we can be, and in terms of the decision-making processes, I think it's always going to be an opinion on the fine line ones.
The perception that we've been putting out there is it's not the light, the way and the truth, but what it is a greater percentage of trying to get it right. Is that the way you view it, and that the way you would be putting a message to the fans?
Yeah, that's my glass half full version, absolutely, and I'm more a positive person trying to look at the positives in it. I don't think I've been a referee for 25 years. If I'd looked at it from the other angle, I wouldn't still be here. So it will, and it has been proven, and during all of our test matches in the centre here, help us get the big decisions right, or the vast majority of the big decisions spot on. As I said, there'll always be that line in the sand one where an opinion will kick in.
Would you make an appeal to fans that maybe in the short term speed might be a frustrating issue?
It's certainly an element of learning from other countries, and when they've rolled this out, the analogy I would use is in terms of the guys and girls have got their driving licence now, they've passed their test, FIFA have approved us. For anyone that drives, you'll know you get better at things the more you do it, you get less clunky, and you get used to the system. So I would rather, and I know it'll be a little bit frustrating, take 10-15 seconds longer and get a decision right than say put pressure on them to say you need to do it quicker, you need to do it quicker. We might get a decision wrong then. So yeah, getting it right is key.
And if I can ask one more question on this, there is still that element of interpretation from VAR, which again, will have to be explained. I would imagine that will still frustrate fans. They're not going to be totally accepting of this.
Yeah, it's a funny one in culture in football. I know other sports have got like TMO and rugby. A lot of the time in the TMO and rugby, there is factual decisions there. Did the ball go forward? Did the ball go over the try line? Was the ball grounded? There is opinionated ones in there about high tackles, etc. There seems to be a greater acceptance of an opinion when that gets communicated to people than maybe culturally within football, because we've all got opinions in football. Somebody has to be the referee, the VAR, the person that looks to make, well, I've got to make a decision here, and using my experience, that's my decision. As I said, we'll get it from here up to here in terms of accuracy. There'll always still be a little bit where people go, well, why didn't VAR look at that? VAR will have looked at it, and they will have just decided to say, well, it wasn't clear or obvious the referee made an error on that front, so I'm not getting involved. So from that point of view, please be assured, we are reviewing everything, but there will still be an element of opinion in this line in the sand, as I call it.
Is there one law or one decision-making process that you think is going to be really difficult and confusing for fans? Certainly from listening to you, whether a player is offside or whether a defender has touched the ball seems to be the one area where there's going to be a problem.
Yeah, there's going to be opinion. Whether it turns into a problem or not, we'll do all our best to stop it becoming that. We know, I'm not naive enough to think there won't be issues out there. But in terms of the frustrating one is, I know some people find it a challenge to say, why is the assistant referee not flagged? That's a blatant offside. So if it's blatant, the assistant can still flag. If they are in any doubt at all, but they think it's probably offside, previously they will have flagged because they get paid to make the decision. Now we won't play to move on in case a goal scored. Yes, there's a risk, and we get it, and this has been in play for 6 years or so around the world and other countries that have had VAR. There is a risk that if play continues, there could be a possible injury. The chances of that happening versus a cracking goal being scored and the assistant given the wrong decision and killing football in terms of that moment, history is showing that, bear with us, the flag will be held, they will allow it to go, they'll then wait for either an attacking move or a goal or a penalty if it's attacking, and they'll then go back and flag for offside at that point. Obviously, if the defence clears the ball, then fine, we crack on. So bear with us on that one.
You've witnessed VAR, the technology. It's down to you guys now. How would you sum up your anticipation, the excitement, emotions ahead of using this?
I think I speak on behalf of all referees in Scotland, certainly professional referees in Scotland at the Premiership level. It's been a long time coming. We're desperate for it to come in, have been for some time. We've done 10 months of extensive training, been in here, done all our practice games, and yeah, we're ready to go. We're looking forward to next weekend. The appointments will come out next Tuesday, and we're all excited about what games will be on, whether we'll be a referee, whether we'll be a VAR. So yeah, can't come quick enough now. We're ready to go, and looking forward to next weekend.
Teething problems always going to be there at the start. What message would you give to the fans as you slowly but surely get used to this technology?
Listen, there will be teething problems. I don't think MD can deny that. We know that ourselves. It'll take us a while to build up the experience of using the technology and the terminology that we've been trained to use. We saw that there's been teething problems in other countries. Hopefully we've learned from those teething problems, and we maybe won't have as many teething problems in Scotland. So we've taken what we've learned from other countries on board. We've adapted it into the training, and as I said before, hopefully we'll be able to implement it as seamlessly as possible.
And the last thing from me, there is still going to be that element of subjectivity in it.
Absolutely, and we need to remember as well the referee on the field of play will get the final decision. Maybe as a VAR we will recommend a decision to the referee, but at the end of the day he might watch the footage that we provide him at the side of the park, and he might stick with his original decision. That's his job, and we have to respect that.